all the people, even for vehicles, instead of buying vehicles at the port of Lagos, Nigerians will go to Cotonou, use the opportunity of the change of the currency. They will take the vehicle and they will bring it here in Lagos. This is not fair competition.
My sister. La principale augmentation c'était l'organisation en place donc régionale, la mise en place du comité régional des éducations. Je suis très heureux d'entendre ce matin que rien s'est tenu pour faire donc finaliser ce dossier. Mais ma principale préoccupation aujourd'hui, avec le contexte Covid, le contexte de la guerre de l'Ukraine, c'est comment organiser, comment impulser le commerce interrégional des intrants, c'est-à-dire le maïs, d'arachide et la fille de poisson. Je pense qu'on va vraiment faire le travail dans ce sens.
Laisse complexe. En une journée de conférence, on ne peut pas finir. Ce qu'il explique, j'allais plus ou moins donner la même réponse. La situation du Bénin est très complexe. Ce n'est pas seulement sur la viande, vous savez, il y a aussi le riz. Even in the rice sector, même pour les véhicules. Le Nigeria vit une situation qu'il considère comme une situation d'injustice. Ce n'est pas fait forcément par les Béninois, c'est fait aussi par les Nigériens qui viennent là-bas. On importe des cuisses de poulet, des ailes de poulet, ça transite par le territoire béninois. Et ça vient compétir de façon anormale la filière viande du poulet ici au Nigeria. C'est pour ça qu'il y a cette méfiance qui s'est établie depuis quelques années. Mais on y travaille. Sinon, de par le principe, tout produit qui est fait au Bénin, vraiment, dont on a la preuve de l'originalité du produit fait au Bénin, rentre au Nigeria sans autre forme de procès, avec la certification d'origine. Et il y a une entité nationale d'accréditation qui est mise en place. Ça, c'est une faute, j'allais dire, courante au niveau de la CEDEAO, qui ne sait pas beaucoup communiquer et qui ne travaille pas beaucoup avec les acteurs sur le terrain. C'est un département qui est en charge de cela. Mais c'est un sujet, on peut le noter et puis on organise une conférence sérieusement là-dessus. On peut même le faire au Bénin et on fait rencontrer les deux parties pour que ça puisse fonctionner. Bon, l'exemple qu'il a donné, c'est des produits d'échange. Il donne le cas du Tchad. Ils vont au Tchad aller chercher la pâte d'arachide pour venir ici comme pour alimenter, faire les aliments de poulet. Et en contrepartie aussi, ils envoient d'autres produits là-bas. Et dès lors qu'on peut apporter la justification de l'originalité. Donc voilà un peu ce qu'il apporte comme élément de réponse, mais c'est un sujet à débattre. Le sujet est très important.
Et c'est pas spécifique que ça se passe.
Ça passe practical. If you say this is a practical question, how can we solve it? That's a big question.
But no, before even you answer, as Ecowas, I think they are doing something.
What is your question? I've given the interpretation. Now we will answer. In the context of COVID-19, how can we stimulate the intra-regional trade of agri-commodities? This is a big question. I don't know if we will have the answer here. For maize, for what is the product? What is the product that you are importing from China? You are not keen? You are not keen, okay. So his main question is related to that. Then he says he's happy to note that from Cairo you took some resolutions and you are reviewing the implementation of those resolutions, and there were a program on putting in place a kind of safety net system for the poultry value chain stakeholders. I was not in Cairo, so that's the main question on which we can interact. Bon, maintenant pour les francophones, Madame disait que elle a bien vu les présentations qui ont été faites et que ce qui l'intéressait c'était de savoir que l'information ne circulait pas. Qu'est-ce qui empêche de créer une sorte de journal ou une sorte d'outil de communication qui permette diffuser les informations régulièrement à l'attention de l'ensemble des acteurs. Donc c'est une question qu'elle a posée. Mais en même temps, elle fait noter que la plupart des entreprises dans l'échelle de valeur du poulet démarrent comme des entreprises familiales, n'est-ce pas? Donc ils créent de l'emploi aussi bien pour les femmes, les jeunes et autres. Mais au-delà de ça, il faut regarder effectivement la promotion des investissements et des financements au profit des femmes. Maintenant, la question du monsieur aussi était en lien avec le Dr. Livet. You are the one who talked about the lab test. The question is directed to you. So, il demandait de savoir est-ce que les laboratoires sont faits pour former les gens? Est-ce que les laboratoires sont faits parce qu'il y a des laboratoires qui font des tests? Et puis ensuite, ils vont envoyer des échantillons pour confirmation. Je ne suis pas vétérinaire, donc j'ai un problème avec vous. De savoir comment ça se passe, quel est le dispositif qui est mis en place. Et puis sa dernière question, elle était relative également. On a des bonnes initiatives. Après, quand on se sépare, il y a rien qui se passe. Comment on fait, quel mécanisme de concertation est mis en place pour nous regrouper et maintenir le lien? So, 2 or 3 questions combined together can find a solution on what we suggested. We said once we need to establish a task force, a regional task force, to enable us to discuss among ourselves. Basically, some of the questions that are not national issues and that are involving several countries together. This is where we can raise them within the regional task force. We discuss, we address them, and then we find solutions, and then we implement the proposal. So this is where the proposal has been made there as a roadmap that we want to build on. One of your questions is related to the way we will select the expert. An official communication will be sent out to each of the member states to select or propose knowledgeable people to do the value chain, poultry value chain analysis from the mapping to the data to the identification of the stakeholders. In some countries it's well known, but some countries like blind spot. You don't know anything at all. People are just on the business, not be reporting to anyone. Nobody knows what is happening. So we will do this exercise for the 15 member states. We thought that maybe passing through the Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Animal Resources within the country will be a good way to do it, because some information are public, but some information are private. So they will be dealing with the private entities, private organizations, so that we can gather those information to be able now to establish a very good database. And then you can start to interact. If you have very good private entity in Nigeria, made in a typical product, why are you looking for importing it from I don't know where? Why don't you connect with the Nigerian industry or the Ghanaian industry or wherever, so that you connect among yourself and you do business among yourself? So this is the intention. So by the time we are coming to you, the term of reference will be developed, and then you will suggest, I think that was the orientation, you will suggest 1 or 2 people, and then contract will be given to those people to do the work, and then we will have a regional guide to combine and aggregate all the information together, and then we will have an induction workshop, then we will have another workshop to validate all this information, so that we will not miss any key information from a country into another one. So that we will now establish a regional body or structure, multi-stakeholders platform, in which you will have public sector, research, industry, trading, etc. together, and then we will also voice better, so that the next Aviana exhibition will be ECOWAS wider, so that we can bring mobilize other ECOWAS members to come. If someone say no more talk, business needs to start. Me, I'm a public servant. I don't have shame to say it. Public work is my public work. I don't know anything on business. So let us create the enable environment so that business can now happen. We shall not be stopping business. We shall be facilitating business. If you are in the public sector and your job is to stop business, or you are not good, you should be in the way of facilitating business, facilitating the interconnection amongst people, so that they will be creating job, creating value, and then everybody will be happy. So, Madam, do you want to answer to some of the questions? I think some of them. I'm bigger than the president of Burkina Faso, and you say Senegal. I don't want to have problem with my so, sir, this is a group So we travel all over Africa, West Africa. We had 2 days meeting. That was the result that we were presenting, and we invite them to join us to watch what is happening on this Aviana Expo, so that from this year and this event we can grow up a little bit and go through digitalization mechanisms, so that those who doesn't have chance to come here with their computer wherever they are, they can participate in the expo online and connect with the industry sector, do business together. We are public sector, we are just talking. These people are making money, they are creating jobs. They have all the respect that due to them.
Yeah.
So, that is it.
Thank you very much.
Before you come selon la loi CEDEAO dit qu'avant que tu n'ailles ailleurs aller importer quelque chose, il faut s'assurer que tu ne vas pas trouver ce produit-là dans l'espace CEDEAO. Donc ce que les gens font, bon, si moi j'ai vu sur les, de mes yeux sur les rayons, comme c'est pas seulement spécifique, madame, au niveau de tout, mais c'est des choses qu'il faut mettre sur la table et effectivement essayer de discuter de ça. Sinon, la zone de libre échange continental, ce marché-là ne peut pas appartenir aux Africains. C'est d'autres qui vont, même déjà, même nous-mêmes au niveau continental, déjà, la Chine a déjà un task force, un groupe de travail sur l'Afrique. L'Amérique en a, l'Inde en a, l'Afrique en a. Et vous savez, le seul continent qui n'en a pas, c'est nous-mêmes qui n'avons pas encore mis en place ce groupe de think tank pour réfléchir comment nous allons vraiment tous bénéficier, tirer profit, faire du marché africain là, effectivement pour les Africains comme Thomas Sankara le dit en 1990.
The question is very complex. It's not only in Benin. The protocol of free movement through personal service is a very good protocol to allow movement of product among ourselves. But is it fair that you import some product out of the community, the packages as originated from your country, and go and compete in other countries? It's not fair. So we still have a lot of work to do to demonstrate that you have the certificate of origin of your product. It's not only on the chicken sector. We have the same problem with the rice sector. You remember Nigeria closed the border with Benin for practically 2 years. Any rice that was coming from Benin did not enter in Nigeria. And we were called to go and do the intermediation, because in 3 months of exportation of rice from Benin comes to Nigeria as rice produced in Benin, even if you were harvesting the entire land of Benin on the rice, you couldn't beat it. So it means that part of the rice is imported and repackaged and sell into Nigeria, which is not fair. So this is the fear that we have, and we still need to continue to work on that. It's a thematic working area that will not, in a few minutes we cannot deal with it. There is a lot of responsibility on that. Public sector responsibility, the actors' responsibility. When we are saying Benin, it's not Beninois, Beninese. I went there. They are Yoruba, Igbo, they are all installed in Benin there. Using those facilities, they will import the package and they send it in their own country. That's the reality. We know it. It's not, when we say Benin, they are not Benin citizens.
And we're supposed to come to ECOWAS. Why? It's specifically for West Africa. We've got a company willing to set up a breeding operation, grandparent operation, which was mentioned in Nigeria, and then exporting parents or parent hatching eggs in West Africa. But the problem we have there is that other West African states, specifically the Ministry of Agriculture, their departments, not willing to accept products from Nigeria, preferring to import from Europe. So we need to sit in a closed room table and say, guys, we should promote West Africa.
Yes.
If breeding stock, the most expensive thing to import, if you import grandparents, transport is 60% from Europe. So if you can get it within West Africa, that will cut your transport costs. So those are some of the things that we can work together and collaborate.
Director, what you say here really resonates with what we decided yesterday.
Exactement.
That we have to have a regional task force
Exact.
to deal with some of these kind of issues. Select priority issues that need to be dealt with in the region.
Yeah.
We also need to understand our value chains.
Yes.
We need to understand trade issues in the region and understand them well. And this is why we've made a very strong request to those of you from the different countries here that select your expert carefully. Your expert should be able to give us good insight to what is happening in your country. If you choose your expert badly, then the bad result will go into the strategy and into all the regional activities as well. So we are going to, that is why we brought everybody here, so that we all have a clear understanding of what is the objective, and it is for the benefit for the whole region. So these are some of the things that are coming here. Madam, do you have a question? I want to take 2 more questions, and then we need to go and have lunch. I want us to have a group photograph. We're going to have a group photograph, and then after that we have lunch, so that we have enough time to prepare ourselves before the opening ceremony. Okay? So can we take 2 more questions? One from Madam here, and I'm being unfair. I will take 2 from there. Okay, and that will close. Oh, okay.
And services within the sub-region. You are from Ecowas, you have a department that looks like that. 2, just like she has said, there are apprehensions in most of the thing. I've visited when we went for this trade, and I've visited your place there. If you produce, if 1 million metric tons of chicken meat comes through, is domiciled in Cotonou, your state capital, I sure know that you don't have the capacity to produce 1 million metric tons of chicken. Like the issue of trade, issue of country of origin arises. Is it locally produced in the Republic of Benin? No. Today, part of the big problem we have with the Republic of Benin is that you are a transit car for most of the dumping in this country. Where you have comparative advantage, your country is not smaller than Cameroon. Even if it's smaller than Cameroon, you are within the same population range. I understand, not Cameroon, Chad. I understand that Chad produces a lot of granite, and they do a lot of crushing. And I needed the granite cake. I go there to buy, we are partners, isn't it? So if you have any comparative commodity that you produces and your people, our people don't have, we'll buy. But in situations whereby eggs are imported into Republic of Benin, you package it as being produced in Republic of Benin. It's glaring. It is never done. So if you have any commodity that has comparative advantage and you think it is needed in Nigeria, I know you're the chairman of the Cobra Association. I've forgotten his name. Otola. We used to be very good friends. Let us know. We'll facilitate through Ecowas. Then we'll use the protocol, the regulations in Ecowas, and we'll facilitate most of these things. So let us not live in assumption. I'm a realist, I can pursue it to anywhere, and we'll make it work.
En dehors de ce que le président Boy est en train de faire pour le plan sanitaire, nous avons la CEDIMA. Tout le monde connaît la CEDIMA qui exporte dans la région. De parents, je pense qu'eux, ils ont dépassé le niveau de production de parents. Ils sont allés vers la consommation. Le KFC, c'est des produits. C'est des produits cuisinés, comme on le fait en Europe, et c'est les poulets qu'ils produisent, qu'ils mettent en KFC. Donc on a un peu d'avance. Mais n'empêche que la région doit soutenir par subsidiarité ce que fait le continent. Le continent ne peut pas opérationnaliser. Il faut bien que l'impact ne pourra venir de la région, qui à son tour aussi, n'ayant pas de territoire, va impacter dans un territoire, et vous tous, vous allez le contaminer. La CEDEAO vous a dit, j'ai fait dans 3 pays de ma région. Vous allez dire, j'ai fait dans 3 pays de la CEDEAO, 4 pays dans l'Afrique de l'Est, 4 pays dans l'Afrique centrale, et tu as tort. Si on ne travaille pas comme ça, avec la raréfaction des ressources, je pense que ça va être celui des constructions. on aura peut-être l'opportunité de ne pas garder la parole. Et la chaîne de valeur poulet, nous le savons, elle est extrêmement importante. Ça peut créer des emplois. Mais le problème, c'est de s'organiser. Donc, le projet Life pour Africa qu'on a signé devant nous en 2020, je pense, avec Yao, doit faire des résultats. Les résultats, ce n'est pas certainement que des réunions. Il faut poser des actes, avoir des projets. Je sais que vous dire, j'ai appris des projets que vous avez pu faire. Il faut vous féliciter. Parce que c'est comme ça qu'on aura des résultats. Et des projets comme ça, coordonnés et appuyés avec la CDR, c'est sûr que ça va faire en tout cas des résultats. Et ça, c'est tout à notre honneur. Et c'est tout à notre honneur de tous qui avons créé avoir au Caire. Et c'est sur ça qu'on prend plus d'action. Parce que les femmes sont très malmenées dans tous les métiers, y compris ce métier. Elles n'arrivent plus à élever. Burkina, si vous y allez, c'est les poulets de chair, les poulets de trottoir que vous pouvez prendre. Maintenant, il y a je parle sous le contrôle du directeur. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire pour que les femmes puissent avoir de la place dans le développement de la value chaîne de valeur? C'est vraiment ces deux questions. Si c'est des contributions, vous pouvez les prendre. C'est les commentaires que merci mon ancienneté dans la région, dans le continent.
Okay, they are lacking behind somehow. Commercial farms are taking some of the jobs. There is a lot of opportunity or financial opportunities that are not also directed to the women. That's the global question. We take those questions, and maybe that can lead us to some other workshop to discuss and scrutinize how we can deal with it. That is one. Secondly, she is encouraging us on the principle of subsidiarity. Of course, African Union doing a wonderful job. They can, based on the principle of subsidiarity, it's an advisory comment that she was making now, that based on the principle of subsidiarity, we work with the regs, and the regs also work with the member state, and we go more down at the grassroots level for concrete operational projects. Meetings are very good, are important, but having concrete project for impact results is also very good. That's really in summary where what Madam was saying. Thank you, Madam.
We have 15 countries. 7 speak English.
6 speak English, 8 speak French, 5 speak
French,
French 8 and 2 Portuguese.
Yes. So she told me, Sarah, you need to really look after all the countries, not only the
It's a family discussion. It is the family discussion.
It's not a family discussion.
It was the family discussion.
No, it's a good point. It's a very good point. And I told her in my family, my mother and 2 of my brothers speak French, and they backbiters in French. Okay, Madam. Please, Madam, you have 1 minute. You have 1 minute. For him, I'll give you 2 minutes.
The region president of West African Women's Association, and now they have gathered
of public and private sector partnership. That we are really that is one of for our key intervention area. So we are happy, and this is really a good opportunity to meet you. And I think after this one, we can have side discussions to know each other better.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Of the Africa Free Continental Trade Area.
Exactly.
So for the African market for Africa.
Here you have African Union Bureau for Animal Resources, AGRIBUSINESS, based in Nairobi. We also have Ecowas Commission. I am Director for Agriculture and Rural Development, so we are in charge of the value chain development for Ecowas region, of course in partnership with African Union. And then we were able to bring some of the directors of animal production from some key selected Ecowas member states to understand what is this expo that has been for a while organized by Nigeria. And Ecowas with African Union, we are willing to expand it to become an Ecowas event and world-class event, by God willing, and by IFC financial support. That's something. So we also have interprofessional organizations, leaders here. This gentleman is for Senegal, is the vice president of...
For the poultry sector.
For the poultry sector, only poultry sector, only. This is where what we
Yeah, so maybe to aid, I think.
And you have this big Oga, my brother, who abandoned me for 4 years. He's pretending that it is because of COVID. He's the chair of Poultry Association of Nigeria. So this is the person to whom you should talk. And also some ladies.
We have
also
the African women
in
animal resources.
I'll leave it for the last part. You know, they are gender sensitive. That women, they will kill me. And then, Madam
are ready to finance. I'm aware because I know the work of IFC and I know some other private organizations and companies that have tapped into their financing and have succeeded. But this idea of operating in silos by West African nations will never help us. I could remember in 2006, I was part of the team that undertook some tours of some countries in West Africa. The main purpose of that trip was to see that for countries that lack the capacity to develop their poultry industry, Nigeria was ready to intervene to help them develop the local poultry industry. Where they have shortfalls, Nigeria was ready to export. The main purpose of our trip then was not to see that we outrightly kill their industry and export. We were ready to build the capacities of poultry producers in West Africa, and where there were shortcomings in terms of supply and demand gap, we were ready to come into it. Now, we went to Benin, we went to Burkina Faso, we went to Mali, we went to Niger. But unfortunately, while we were about starting that processes of integration, we had the first outbreak of avian influenza in 2006 in Nigeria. We could not do that. Today, there is this African Free Trade Continental Agreement that have actually taken up or is to take up. If we now say products will not be accepted from one country, then we are already doing ourselves a lot of injuries. I will tell you today, by sourcing the plant protein ingredients for the poultry feed in Nigeria, I have a lot of my members who import granite cake from Jamina to Nigeria. And that has actually been able to fix in the gap between the supply and demand in plant protein source. I understood there's a lot of granite cake in Senegal, but we're trying to look at the logistics of bringing granite cake from Senegal. It is cheaper for me to go to Jamina to bring in granite cake than for me to import soya meal from America.
Yes.
So what we need to do is to integrate ourselves into a system that we can help ourselves. I have a lot of friends from Ghana that are in Nigeria. In the last 10-15 years, they are professionals. I brought over 10 people into Nigeria, and then after working for some years, they've decided that they are no longer going back to their country. They are adding value to my country. Now, I have a lot of Nigerians that are in Ghana doing the same thing. So what I'm trying to say, with the coming of IFC, we can do a lot of things by integrating ourselves into a critical mass. The critical mass in such a way that we need to do trade within ourselves, rather than exporting our opportunities to Europe, to South America, and to North America. We are all black here. The fairest person here should be our mother here and this lady. But no matter how fair they are Africans. Yes. We are black people. So this noxious or dichotomy in ourselves, except to throw it out, then we are going to have a problem. I have a very good understanding that a lot of companies are setting up in Morocco with a view of exporting to Africa. Yes. A lot of port services are being developed in Djibouti. I am an expenditure, somebody who spends time to do exploration. I go to some countries at my cost to see some things so that when I'm talking, I have figure. IFC, come into Nigeria. The Poultry Association of Nigeria is going to be a very, very big vehicle to drive most of these things. You are talking of grandparent stock. Yes, we can produce grandparent stocks and then send to other people. And I will tell you, up by now, Nigeria is supplying pears and hatching eggs to Cameroon.